Dino coming to us from Venice. What's up, Dino? We've got Drake from Malibu. And a face that's familiar to some of us on our Your Take panel, Miss Korea from Long Beach. Good morning, darling. Okay, kiddos, I want to do a check-in. Raise a hand if you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a in-between of how you're doing right now. Thumbs up, so-so. 2 thumbs up and 2 so-sos. You know what, Drake? Let me check in with you. How you doing, brother? I know you are a devoted member and a mentor there at the Long Beach, at the club in Malibu. How are you faring, honey?
You know, I'm doing good. It's not as enjoyable to be in school at distance learning instead of being at school and seeing my friends and everything. But, you know, I'm managing through it, and going on walks and hikes is a good way for me to kind of release some stress and cope with not being able to be in school as much.
Yeah, get a little bit of that fresh air and some exercise, but that social aspect you really miss. I get that. Korea, how about you? Is it the social aspect that is challenging for you? Is it the instruction? What are you struggling with?
Of course, it's a social aspect because I really can't do much. It's almost a year now. But I guess it'll also be that I am so used to being at home. It's kind of hard to process with people that are still out in the real world, still working, still managing to be outside and stuff. So it's kind of more slow over here. So
well, that's the thing. You make a good point. It depends on where you live. Things are a little bit different. Your friends in some of the other areas may be going back to in-room instruction. Some of them may be still distance learning. Evangelina, where are you at? Are you doing remote learning still?
Yes, I am doing remote learning still.
And how is it going for you? You doing okay?
I am doing okay. I would say that, you know, being at home all day, it's been hard and such a big change for me to get used to. But thankfully, thanks to the Boys and Girls Club, they have helped me so much to deal with it and cope with depression, all those kinds of things that I've gone through all this time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big time in y'all's age. Being a teenager is a challenge at the best of times. You don't need me to tell you that. I was a teenager a long time ago. Mr. Dino, you gave me a thumbs up. Tell me what's working right now for you and what's keeping you up, because you're a real positive guy, I hear.
Yeah, it's really just trying to stay happy. Knowing how much stuff is going on in the world, we just got to keep the best positivity that we can. We just got to stay happy.
Yep, and that's not easy to do when you're sitting alone in a room. And Drake, I get that. I know for you, because you're a leader in the club, and one of the things that you like to do is sort of reach out to the next generation of kids. You know, you older teens often give a good word to the kids running around in the club, but with an absence of that, I imagine you feel a little bit empty, don't you, Drake?
Yeah, well, you know, before COVID was there, me and my friend would go down to Bria, which is the elementary school, and we'd look over the little kids after school. So that's a big part that I miss that I couldn't do anymore, especially in light of COVID. But being able to be still connected through Zoom and through Boys and Girls Club still gives me that little bit of social aspect, which is pretty important to me. And I feel pretty important for the next generation coming up, too.
Absolutely. Know that does make a difference to those kids, too, Drake. I hope you understand that, like, their time with you is you're passing down some help to those kiddos that need it. So, no, you're giving them a good word when you spend some time on Zoom with them. And then, of course, I know finding the initiative to get up and go can be particularly hard when you are living in pajamas all day and doing remote learning. Korea, how do you combat that?
Well, honestly, at first it was a huge struggle. I mean, it wasn't just like I knew I had to do it, but in myself it's like I can't do it. So I feel like you just have to make sure before it's time for you to get up and stuff, you make sure you have some time alone, have some time to yourself where you can at least inspire yourself to do more, and that you have to keep going regardless.
Evangelina, what do you think some of the people out there are missing about what the experience is like to be a teenager during a pandemic right now?
I would say that before all this started, we had so much interaction with our teachers, our friends, even our family members. And now it's just like you're at home all the time. You can't go out. And if you can, it's not the same thing anymore. But, we just got to motivate ourselves and hope for better days to come.
Dino, do you worry about some of your social skills? Because I think about it, when I hadn't been talking to anybody except on Zoom, I was a little worried about what I'll be like when I get back out there in the big old world. How to talk to people, how to interact with other people. Do you worry about that at all?
I would definitely say that I became a little bit antisocial. So I would definitely say that I'm a little bit scared to go back to my normal life.
In a way, it's kind of funny. Dino, I think about the fact that adults used to get on y'all if you're spending too much time on screens, right? Up until the pandemic, we'd be like, too much screen time. Your lives are on screens now. That is such a strange reality to find yourself in, isn't it, Dino?
Yes, it is. It's kind of like now, instead of my parents saying, oh, go outside, go to the park, go have fun. Now it's me asking, oh, can I? And most of the time getting denied, but still.
And Drake, we're asking this question of the people at home, which will be people of all ages. But I want to ask you, you're a 16-year-old high school student. You're in the 11th grade. Do you think it's time for kids to get back to in-room instruction?
Well, it's a tough question. I would not like to go back if it's not safe, but safe is a hard word to say. It's different means for each person and different means for what different people think is acceptable and not acceptable.
Yeah.
If everyone can be safe and we can prevent the spread, then I think it would be good to go back. I certainly would like to go back.
Yeah.
But again, only if it's safe to go back.
How about you, Korea? You feel it's time to go back? What are your concern levels about safety?
I honestly agree with Drake about when it is right and when it is safe, because I know a lot of us just miss the social aspect, but we still have to think about there are people getting sick, there are people dying, there are a lot of things going on. So what's really best for us is to be able to be healthy and return to school.
Evangelina, does COVID and worry about the pandemic, does it keep you up at night? Are you anxious about it?
Not really. I would say that sometimes I do think about it because it has affected all of us in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think like, okay, when am I going to go back to school? When am I going to see my family members and stuff like that? But it's been such a topic that you kind of get to think about. And sometimes, yeah, you do worry. I do worry sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We don't want... you guys have enough things to be thinking about, right? What your futures hold, how to get that, report done in time, how to make sure you're getting enough socialization. We don't want you guys to have to worry. That is, that's what our adult job is supposed to be, is keep the weight of worry and concern off those young shoulders of yours. Dino, how about you? Are you feeling like it's time to get back to classrooms?
Well, going back to what Drake and Korea said, I think it's only when it's safe and right for everyone to go back. Instead of just trying to rush, get back to how it was, I think we should make sure we worry about the health of everyone in our country and everyone in the world. Make sure it's safe before we go back.
You know what? Y'all are so grown up. You kind of freak me out a little bit, how mature you are. You're such, well-spoken young people, and we need to listen to you and hear what's going on in your hearts and your heads. We want to just send you a big, warm virtual hug from me. Keep up the great work. I like seeing that smile, Drake. I really do. You guys are doing a great job. You make all of us who are involved with the Boys and Girls Club, which I am. I'm a board member in Long Beach, and I should tell you that. I'm very proud of all of you for the leadership that you show in your individual clubs. Keep on doing it, and we will get through this. This too shall come to pass. We want to point out to you, by the way, here we are on the screen. Man, 62% of you have said that you don't think it's time for kids to go back to in-room instruction yet. 38%. It's fluctuating. We'll take a look at that again as we progress with the show. But great to hear from those kids from the Long Beach Boys and Girls Club, or all of the Boys and Girls Club around the Southland. Maria, let's head over to you.
Yes.
How is